Welcome to Video Quick Tips, the show that brings you tips and techniques to help you produce better video. I'm Bill Mecca. In this episode, I want to take a look at a piece of equipment that you've probably all seen online, if not all of you, most of you. It goes by a variety of different names, but if you want to find what I'm looking for, you can just go to eBay and search for DSLR shoulder rig, and you'll get a ton of hits for this thing. Now, this is DSLR shoulder rig. It's also called a Spider Steady, though to be honest, I've actually never seen it listed with that name, seen it referred to. It cost me about $55. The selling point on this is it's convertible to a lot of different positions because it's all bendy. And when you see it as a shoulder rig, it's basically set up in the pictures. It's one arm telescopes, and this can go over your shoulder. I'm not going to tighten it up because I want to show you something else after that. But if you do it like this, you can put the camera right on here. You have a shoulder rig. It has 1/4 holes. Thread is here, here, on the bottom of the handles as well, so you can do it. I mean, they show it like this. You know, you can take this up the other way, so you could put your camera here and use it similar to a fig rig stabilizer. Or I've seen it positioned, I can't think of which way it is, like this, with the camera on it, this out back straight, and somebody holding it by this handle. I wouldn't trust that any camera on there because this is inexpensive plastic. Now, this is basically a copy of a rig like this that's been around for a long time that costs about $500. Costs 10 times what I paid for it. I was looking at a promo video of that original rig, and when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, something's different. Then I looked at this and I realized that they put it together wrong. See this hole here? This hole is supposed to be facing forward. So the original design calls for a belt with a rod and a spring-loaded tip that sits in here, and the weight of the camera is then on the rod and not on your shoulders. So you can fly it around and it moves pretty well. But you can't do that with the way they have it set up. So what you have to do is this gets swapped with this. So you unscrew this. These are threaded on. I think they're not 1/4, so you can't get confused. We'll take that off and take this off and swap them around. Now, the one thing that is a problem with this as a shoulder rig is that there is no counterweight. It puts all the weight on your arms. So if you're putting like a Canon XA1 or Sony Z5 out on this, all that weight is out here. So now, let's do this. Where's that other handle? It's over here. Now this makes it, by setting it up this way, it works a little better because, I'll put this down for a second. One problem with this is it puts your arms out here, so your arms are out in front of your body and they're very wide. So now with it like this, we take this and put this over our shoulder, swing this around over here, and I'll swing this one back and we can bring it here, and that works much better because your hands are closer together. You could actually bring this one back around if you wanted to, your camera here. Now, I've tried several different ways to put counterweights on this because, as I said, it's got a 1/4 hole back here. So I actually made, let's see, made a device out of PVC here. Got it tangled up in my headphone wire with a 1/4 on it, and this will screw in to the back. The problem is for a camera even like my HV30, you need about 5 or 6 pounds of weight behind it, and what I got were ankle weights. The only ones I could find were 1 pound a piece, so I didn't really have enough to put on here, but you can put several of those on there, and this part here is just to keep them from sliding off. So if you do that, and I won't put all the weight on it, but you can put it on your shoulder, and now you have a bit of a counterweight on it. For me, with my 53-year-old eyes, this is far too close. I cannot focus on the LCD screen, so I would need it further out. But if you rig it up, swap those handles the way it's supposed to be, it'll work a lot better for you. And if you can pick up one of those belts and rods, they're about 70 bucks, cost more than this, and then put that in here, then all the way, I mean, you can go hands-free with that. The weight would all be on the belt, which would be around your waist. So it works. But to be honest, I used it once, and because of the vision thing here, I found myself leaning back, didn't have enough counterweight on it. My back was aching by the end of maybe an hour's worth of shooting, and I was taking breaks in that too. It is very handy because of all the places you can mount 1/4-20 threaded attachments. You know, you can put a magic arm on there. I had a magic arm on it with the light. The video I did about the CN160, I used this. So if you look back at that one, you can see how it stabilized some of the video in that one shot. It does fold down quite small. It's a little bit different now that I've put the arms the other way. Will it work for you? I can't say. It didn't really work for me. So I've worked up something else, which I'll be showing you in another episode. But this is about 50, 60 bucks. Might be worth the investment for you. You can decide. It seems to be made out of metal. The one seller swore to me it was made out of PVC. I don't know if this doesn't look like PVC to me. But it's about 55 bucks. I wouldn't pay any more than that. And honestly, I would save that 55 bucks and put it towards something that's a little bit better. That, you know, you might even be better served with making a rig out of PVC for 10 or 12 bucks than this. But that's it for this time. There'll be a link for this down below if you want to find out more information. That's it for this episode of Video Quick Tips. I'm Bill Mecca. Happy shooting. This thing is really confusing. You can get brain drained by trying to straighten this thing out.